Hello, welcome to Not Another Who podcast. I'm your host, Sam Morrell.
Hello, I am Christopher Hyde.
How are you doing this week, Chris?
Good. Wasn't really expecting to do an episode just after we finished Meglos, but we had some very surprising news drop on the weekend.
Yeah, we've had the trailer.
The season 2 or series 15, depending on your preference.
Series 15.
Or season 40.
You're trying to add it up in your head, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, the new trailer launched, and I thought, well, we can't leave it 2 weeks and not cover anything. Everyone's getting on the Doctor Who hype train now, so I guess it's sort of kick-started our countdown to the next season.
Yeah, exactly.
But how have you been?
Yeah, good. It's only been not that long since we last recorded the last episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably about a week or so.
Yeah. And we did
Yeah.
have that meetup, but we never got to film anything.
Yeah, we didn't get to film anything. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, it was a bit crowded where we were, so we didn't get.
It's because it's a touristy
anything.
town, you know?
Yeah. Do we tell the audience where we were?
I think keep it secret, you know? Let them guess.
Yeah.
Keep them on their toes, you know?
It's or I could say the series and they have to guess.
Oh, but that may give it away. So
Yeah.
I think keep them
Yeah.
in the dark. Let them theorize.
Yeah.
That's what Whovians are good at.
We'll reveal it at episode 100 or so.
Yeah. If we get 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel and 100 views on our visual episode, then we'll do it.
Yeah. Only about 92 to go.
92 to, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going to cover obviously the trailer, and we're going to cover the Gunfighters. Pew 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 pew.
Do you think there's blood upon the sawdust at the last trance saloon?
What I thought, because obviously I've watched the Gunfighters before, so it's an episode I'm familiar with, but because I've watched the Red Dwarf Gunman episode more, every time they mention the Last Chance Saloon or that woman is singing about the Last Chance Saloon, I always think of the Red Dwarf episode. So
Yeah.
it's really distracting.
Yeah, same here. Mm. Yeah. What do you think of the series 15 season 2 trailer?
So, well, for a starter, it looks a lot darker than we had last series.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of tone, in terms of what we're going to see on screen,
Mm,
the fact that most of the shots were dark. um,
mm.
there was hardly a bright shot in there, really. There was only a couple.
No, it was all very shadowy, wasn't it?
Hmm. Um,
Yeah.
And there were some great shots in that trailer. You know, there were some stunning bits of cinematography, I thought.
Mm,
Um, but I'm skeptical because as we know with Doctor Who trailers, um, they they choose style over substance.
yeah.
And I'm skeptical because we know what the style looks like, but whether or not the quality is going to improve, we
Mm,
don't know. And that's a massive thing because we need that quality to improve for the show to improve.
yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
Um, I'm looking forward to what this new companion um could be. Do you think she could be like another Tegan or something? That's what I'm getting from her, really.
Well, there's you say that. Sorry. You say that there is a mystery box element to this character because of
Yeah.
her appearance in the last series. And that has cause for concern because as we know, with Doctor Who mystery box characters is we've seen ever more diminishing returns. Like Clara, for example, that was quite a divisive mystery box
Mm,
element, and the same with Ruby Sunday.
mm,
It turned out that she was a completely normal person. There was nothing untoward. So what you were theorizing was all a waste of time. And I feel like RTD really sort of set himself in that trolling sense
yeah.
last series. So I have less faith in him this time around.
Mm,
Obviously, there is that element of she wants to get home. Her priority is she doesn't want to be traveling. But again, it's interesting. But as we know, the Doctor can just go back. Like you know, it isn't like the classic era where it was it was a thing where the Doctor couldn't really go back to the same
mm,
time. There was a bit more of a long way around. But as we know from the New Who series, it is very possible to appear and reappear, and no time has elapsed really.
mm,
So why, for example, he said in the trailer, we'll have to take the long way around. It just feels like an excuse more than it
yeah.
feels like it's storytelling. You know,
Mm,
what
yeah.
if like the TARDIS had the what if the TARDIS lost the ability? That would be interesting, but I don't think they're going to address that.
Mm. Yeah, I hope they do go down that road like they did in the Hartnell years, where the TARDIS can go anywhere and land anywhere. You didn't have any control where it went.
Mm.
I'd really like to see that aspect of the show again, but who knows?
I think that's what they need to do as a story element. They need to remove the TARDIS's ability to appear and reappear. They need to say, look, the TARDIS can't do it anymore, so wherever the TARDIS goes, and if you end up back home, good kind of thing.
Mm.
Um, the cinema episode with the animated character voiced by Alan Cummings, Ring-a-Ding, Mr. Ring-a-Ding.
Yeah, I'm
That
actually
seems like the best. Sorry.
yeah, sorry. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with that episode. It seems a bit creepy. Um, we
It
didn't
seems
get
like
that
the
from.
best episode,
Mm,
in my opinion. It feels like the most promising because they're actually doing something a bit more unique and different and,
mm,
the god of cinema, probably.
probably.
It's probably
Um,
Martin Scorsese.
um, what do you think? This Mrs. Flood character could be. I've been racking my head round who
So
who she could be
RTD
really.
RTD said in an interview that there isn't going to be a satisfying conclusion to the Mrs. Flood character. Whether or not he was trolling or he really means it, we don't know because we can't get into the mind of a madman.
No,
But but I don't think I don't think we should be reading too much into it. I think if we knew anything we would have known something substantial by the end of the first series. So the fact that they're continuing the mystery, but there's seemingly not going to be any resolution to it, I think it's a waste of time speculating. I
mm,
think just sort of I think it's just going to be like a cameo thing now, like
yeah,
Stanley in the Marvel films.
yeah,
It's just going to be she turns up in every episode in some form, and it's like, okay, cool, you're there. On to the rest of the episode.
yeah. We
One
also.
thing I found interesting was Mel is coming back.
I was just about to say that.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, we will also get to see Mal back, which I'm actually looking forward to where they're gonna go with her character because
Well, I hope she's not just set dressing. I hope she actually does
yeah,
something.
yeah, she I didn't really do much with her in the last series. What I can remember is
Well, this is the problem with bringing back old companions is it's literally fan service for the people that
yeah,
care. But if you don't give the audience a reason to care about these, like RTD did a very good one with Sarah Jane. We were meant
mm,
to care about Sarah, and that's what fueled the new Who fans into enjoying Sarah Jane as a both returning
mm,
companion and an original companion. But
yeah,
we're not having the same effect with the whole Mel coming back. Like she just seems to be there. It's like, oh, we're hinting back to the 80s, but when you know,
yeah. She's just like been sidelined in all of her scenes. I wish
yeah.
they would actually focus on her in like one episode. Hopefully, in this series.
Well, I think that shot where we saw the reality bending around her, I
Mm,
wonder if that is something more prominent with her character. Maybe she's experiencing something strange happening.
Yeah.
But again, it's RTD has proved already that he's just filling in or adding fluff, that there's nothing substantial to what he writes anymore. It's
Yeah.
just plain.
Yeah. It's just no substance to any of the stories from
So that's where
since he came
my
back.
fears lie, is the style
Mm,
over substance. It looks good, but you can make a piece of whatever. You can make a piece of garbage look good, but it's still garbage.
yeah. It's the same reason I have against the Whittaker era. It's
Mm.
style over substance. I mean,
Yeah, the
cinema.
cinematography was one of the best parts
Yeah.
of the Jodie era.
Yeah. Um. Oh, we're gonna see Kate Lethbridge Stewart again.
Yeah. Did I write anything about that?
Yeah,
There's
I'm just
something
looking
going
if
on with Unit.
yeah.
From the looks of things,
Um.
they're hiding something underneath
Mm,
Unit HQ. And it looked a bit like the 456
and
or the Macra,
yeah,
but we won't talk
and
about that.
and Shirley Bingham is coming back as well.
She wasn't in the trailer though, was she?
She I don't I heard she was coming back, but I don't remember her being in the trailer though.
No, I didn't see her in the trailer, nor did I see Lenny Rowe.
No, I haven't seen him. Maybe they like the alternating between.
I think they're going to be in the finale. I think it's going to be in
Mm,
another unit finale.
yeah. Um.
The skeleton creature looks cool.
Yeah. The dinosaur.
It looked a bit like a cat,
Is it
or like a, I
is it a
don't know.
dinosaur or a cat?
I don't know. I'm going to have another look because I need to get a kind of clear look at it, because it's difficult to judge when you're sort of watching. Where is it? 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 Yeah, it's kind of a mix between. It's kind of dinosaur-like.
Yeah, I thought it was a
Obviously, you'll
dinosaur, but
show it on the edit, but you'll just add it in post the
yeah,
picture. It's weird. It feels like something out of a Ray Harryhausen film,
yeah.
Jason and the
Um,
Argonauts.
yeah. Um, I was gonna say something, but then I forgot what I was gonna say. Uh,
I don't know how I feel about the intergalactic song contest.
uh
It looks very trashy,
it does, doesn't it?
and
Something.
that pains me because I do want a musical episode of Doctor Who at one point. I just don't want it looking trashy and awful.
Hmm, well,
I'm open to a musical episode. I just don't want it like Devil's Chord. At
mm,
that music cue at the end was awful.
yeah. RTD is known to be a bit trashy at times, though.
His first era had trashy moments, I do agree.
Yeah.
but they were perfectly balanced, I found.
Mm,
You could forgive the trashy moments because you knew that you were going to expect something better, like next week.
yeah.
Whereas every episode of Shooty's first series really frustrated me because I was trying to like it and it was just putting me off.
Mm,
I think the episode I only really liked was 73 Yards, and even then it was a bit lackluster.
mm. Yeah, it was lacking the Doctor and all that. Yeah. I,
I didn't mind the absence of the Doctor, but it didn't really have any interesting conclusions or, the kind of ambiguousness was just a bit like, okay, I feel like I've just wasted an hour of my time,
mm,
you know.
yeah.
There was no
Um.
payoff.
Yeah. There's no
Um,
payoff. Yeah. You kind of set something up, then you just doesn't really pay it off really.
it's what I call the J.J. Abrams effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He did that a lot in the Star Trek movies.
and the Star Wars.
Yeah, and Star Wars as well.
I think overall it isn't bad, but given what we've seen from RTD so far, I'm not. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not full of hope that it's going to be another good series or a good series.
Mm. Oh,
That's just my overall thoughts.
what do you think about them flying saucers? Do you think it's the Daleks or not? I don't think it is. I think it's something
No,
completely different.
I
People,
I had
uh,
a sorry.
yeah, people are saying it's the Daleks, it's the Daleks. I don't think it is. I don't think the Daleks are going to come back in this series. This probably will
I
date horribly if I'm wrong.
I was really hoping for at least one shot of a Dalek. That was
Mm,
the only thing because I know they're overused. I know they're the oldest villains and all that jazz, but there's a reason why the Daleks are so integral to the show is because, like how Batman has the Joker, the Doctor has the Daleks. It's been a formula since the very beginning. So as
yeah.
much as I understand that we have in the RTD one era and Stephen Moffat's era and Chibs, we have had a lackluster Dalek story every so often. But unfortunately, there are only so many things you can do with them that are interesting. Yes, I think it would be nice to give them a break. We have given them a break. I want a Dalek story. Um, so I was really hopeful because it did look like Scarrow, didn't it?
It
It had
did, with the
had
orange sky and that.
yeah, and like the sort of domed buildings, but it
Mm,
it just for me, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Shooty might be the first Doctor, the first New Who Doctor not to face the Daleks on
mm.
screen. And if the rumors are true that he will be stepping down, it's definitely likely that he's not going to face the Daleks.
Which is unfortunate. at least one Dalek story before he maybe bows out.
But who knows? It could be just tabloid, stoking the fires or whipping up a frenzy.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, as JNT says.
And there's not too long left. There's just over a month.
Yeah, just over a month. A month and 8 days. 5 weeks.
It's the 4th today. And it's the 12th of April. It's airing. Yeah. So, just over a month until... but in the meantime, Gunfighters. Pew pew. Pew 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 pew.
The Gunfighters. So, the Gunfighters. Gunfighters. You know what reference I just did there, but swapped the words.
Does Doc Holliday look like William Hartnell? I don't think so.
No.
So it's really weird how the entire episode sort of focuses around the whole miscommunication or misinterpretation on who Doc Holliday is. And then it kind of turns into a hostage situation.
Yeah. So where does the story start out? Well, it starts out with the first Doctor, Dodo, and Stephen, and the Doctor has a toothache. And they go around finding a dentist. They find out they're in Tombstone in 1883. 1883 was it? Was it? I should know. I'm the history buff.
You should know. You're not just the history buff. You're the classic Who buff as well.
Yeah. I've seen this story plenty of times, and I can't get the year right.
Which one did you say? Which year?
1883.
It was 1881. I had to Google it, so I can't talk.
What did you say? 1886?
Yeah.
I was closer though.
You were. Yeah. Interesting episode. Absence of aliens. It was mainly historical.
It's known as a pure historical. A pure
historical.
Yes. When did you first see this story? Seen.
Must have been about a decade ago. Must have been a while ago, because I've seen it, but I forgot most of it apart from the catchy song.
There's blood on the sawdust at the last chance salute.
I didn't know which was worse.
I can't sing, so
Yeah, I think I've seen this episode before, but it was a while ago. It wasn't a recent um watch. But I liked it because I liked the fact that it was just something different from Doctor Who. You know, the pure historicals are fun despite the lack of
Mm,
aliens or lack of risk.
yeah,
And it was a shorter story, you know, it was just 4 parts.
yeah. It was just a simple little 4-part story.
Mm.
Um, did you know that the character of Johnny Ringo, obviously he's real, but Johnny Ringo was
Hmm.
originally going to be cast um, for Patrick Troughton.
Oh, so Patrick Troughton was going to take that role.
Yeah, Patrick Troughton was going to take that role.
Wow. That would have been a
But
great casting.
yeah, he would have been great. I could see him in that role. He,
Well, it just would have been nice to see a future Doctor go up against the incumbent Doctor, you know?
mm, um, obviously, Lawrence Payne got that role. Do you know
Mm.
what
And did
Lawrence
a
Payne
standout
was?
job.
Mm, do you know what Lawrence Payne was in later on? The Two Doctors as Dastari. You know, the
Man with the
one with
big eyebrows.
the the jazzy glasses.
Haven't watched the Two Doctors in a long time, so all I remember is an elderly man with massive eyebrows. And then the
Yeah,
Doctor, the second Doctor, has massive eyebrows.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I have to cover that story at some point.
I I thought for a second you meant Revelation of the Daleks and Alexei Sale's character. Not Alexei Sale. Is it Alexei Sale? The DJ.
Yeah, Alexei Sale.
Yeah, I thought you meant him, not the two doctors. That's for some reason popped into my head, the DJ.
Uh, no. Um, yeah, Lawrence Payne played Dastari in the Two Doctors.
Mm.
Anyway, back to the Gunfighters. Um,
I I have some notes.
I have some notes as well. That's
We
one of
all
them.
have notes. Well, you've got some fun facts for us, haven't you, Sam?
I do have. That's one of the facts I picked out. Do you want me to go on with the facts?
Sure.
Okay, okay, okay. Did you know William Hartnell? Um,
Actually had a toothache.
yeah, he had a toothache, and
He was method acting.
um, he suggested a Western story. So it was kind of him
Oh,
throwing that idea out there. So he got that
that's
yeah, he got that.
interesting because obviously, you know, we've had Doctor Who actors influence the writers before. You know, some actors have pitched ideas or said, "Oh, I want this to happen or that to happen," or I'd be interested in an episode like this, and then they've done it. But the fact that, I mean, I think because Hartnell had not really done any westerns, he was
No,
quite
he hasn't.
typecast as the army sergeant.
Yeah, or the like the rough, thuggish character in
Yeah.
them all black and white movies he was in.
So I think him pitching the Western idea was a chance for him to have a little bit of a breather and
Mm,
a bit of a brighter kind of episode. And honestly, it kind of works.
mm. Oh, and the Doctor having a um a a collection of guns.
Why
What was
does
that
the
about?
Doctor have a gun collection? And why haven't we seen this gun collection in full detail? I want to see
Yeah,
muskets. I want to see. Oh, what's that? I want to see like an Elmer Fudd gun.
yeah. I don't know why the Doctor has a gun collection, uh, which is not spoken about again.
No, it's
For
literally just in that episode.
yeah. Uh,
Uh, I like the fact that uh, I wrote this down. That Stephen comes across a bit of a dick, where he goes,
yeah,
"Serves you right for eating the sweet," and it's like, come on, man, don't
yeah.
hit
He
him
does
while he's
come off.
already down.
He does come off a bit of a dick in that
Also,
episode.
why did the Doctor allow him to have a gun when he's not trained to use it? You know,
Yeah,
he's like messing about with the gun and fires it, and it's like, why?
and what is with them bloody American accents? Oh my god!
It is actually quite hilarious, but there's one actor, or maybe two actors that pull the accent off. Do you know who they are?
The barman.
I'll give you a clue. They were also in a very popular series in the 1960s.
I know one of them's in
They played
Thunderbirds.
voices. Yeah, yeah. Shane Rimmer and David Graham are the only
Yeah,
ones that I think made a proper, authentic American accent.
yeah. Shane Rimmer played Seth Harper, and David Graham played the barman Charlie,
Hmm. As the
who
voices of Scott and Gordon Tracy.
recently passed away not long ago.
Yeah. David Graham was
Um,
one of the last.
yeah.
Because I don't think there's that many actors around anymore.
In this story, there's only one actor who's still alive. You know
Peter
which actor
Purves.
that is? Yep, Peter
Mm.
Purves. Um, yeah, he's the last man standing, unfortunately.
Which is weird because you'd think, like, I mean, he's definitely done very good for his age,
Mm,
but it's odd because of he doesn't look as old as he's. I don't know. It's and then he went
he is.
from this to Blue Peter, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah, and it's one of his few surviving episodes as well. I think I kind of liked Stephen, even if he was a bit of a dick to the Doctor with his with his toothache. I
Yeah.
like him.
Um, I will say this about the American accents. Now, hear me out. The American accents are awful. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
But upon recent reflection with the current geopolitical crisis, I think they're quite fitting.
yeah, yeah. They are quite
That's
fitting,
all
to
I'm
be
going to
honest.
say. I'm not going to go any further.
Uh, what do you think of what's her name? Dodo. She's
I
one of
like.
them.
Go on.
She's one of them. That them companions who are really like forgotten about. Uh,
I actually quite like her. She's sweet. She means well. I do
yeah,
think she becomes a bit of a damsel in distress in this episode, but that's the 1960s for you. But she's fine, you know. She's nice. It's a
yeah,
shame that she's written in the way she was, but what else can you do, really?
yeah. She's she is one of them like forgotten Doctor Who companions that
Definitely.
are just like sandwiched between, well, pretty much sandwiched between two that are remembered, like Vicky and Polly.
Well,
Um,
like the original TARDIS team as well, you know.
yeah, and the original TARDIS team, which are iconic. Of, but yeah, she gets a bad rap, to be honest. Um, she leaves during the war games, like halfway through. Um, at the end of the war games, Polly says, "Oh, Dodo sends her love. Bye."
Was that the War Machines?
Yeah, the war machines.
Because you said War Games for a second, and I was like, I
Oh,
can't remember.
did I say the war games?
Yeah. I was like, I don't remember Dodo being in the War Games. We literally just covered that episode. I didn't see her walking across the screen in the background.
And nor was Polly in the war games either.
No. So I don't know what
No,
happened, but
that was
yeah.
just a bit. It's just a bit of a cognitive decline there, I think. You
Maybe
know.
maybe you're going the way of Hartnell. We'll
Oh,
start having to write your lines on cue cards. I'll just hold it up to the camera.
so he he was he was famous for writing his lines on the console, so he can like
Look
look
down.
down at the console and just do his business.
I'm surprised you haven't called out my background.
Ah, yes, the original the TARDIS design.
I tried to fit it in, but I kind of got a little bit of the console and a little bit of a chair. But I
Hmm.
found a picture of the original console in high quality, and I thought that'll go fitting.
Yes. This is our first Hartnell story we've covered. Um,
It is, and it's not the best one, obviously, but it's doable. It's a decent episode.
yeah, it is a decent episode. Is
Did
there
you?
anything?
Oh,
What's
oh,
that?
sorry.
No, no, go
Sorry.
on.
Oh, go on. I was just going to say, did you spot a reference to a silent film in this episode?
A reference to the.
One of the most
No.
influential silent films of all time.
Is it your favourite?
It's not my
Metropolis.
favourite, but it's definitely up there.
Mm, trying to think of a silent film.
I'll wait to see if you want any clues.
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? I don't know.
You are correct.
Oh, am I?
Yes. So in the first episode, the first Doctor introduces himself as Dr. Caligari. The Wyatt says Doctor Who, and he goes, "Yes, quite."
I
So
thought you
that's one of
said
the
something.
first ever. Sorry,
Thought you said something completely different.
no,
Is
I
it
am
Caligari?
absolutely. I'm pretty sure it's
I thought you said.
Caligari.
I thought you said something like Kelly Garland or something.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Caligari. It has to be Caligari.
I'll
Put
have to
a
go back and
screenshot.
I'll have to put the go back and put the subtitles on and
You will, and you'll need to at least edit in and post to see
yeah,
to make
I'll
sure
pop
we
it
see
up
it
on the it will appear right here.
right in front of us, right here. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was a reference to the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and I'm pretty sure that inspired Doctor Who to an extent.
yeah, I can see that to be honest. With the
And yeah,
mm, um
the sets and camera work I thought were fantastic for 1964.
66.
66. How did I get that wrong? Oh wait, but didn't he leave in 66?
Yeah, it's one of his last stories. We
Fighters is one of his last
had
stories.
yeah, it's one of his last stories. You had the Savages after
Yes.
the War Machines,
Yes.
um, the Smugglers, and then the 10th Planet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's one
Wow.
of
I
his.
didn't realize it was one of his last stories because he was actually
Yeah,
quite good with his lines in this one.
mm, yeah, it's one of his very last stories.
Ah.
Um,
But yeah, very good for 1966.
do you think it was like pretty early on?
Well, I was trying to think, was it 65 or 64? Because I was trying to. I mean, I went with the idea of season one, 63, season two, 64. So my mind was skipping ahead or jumping back or whatever. Because
Yeah,
I didn't take into account the fact that these episodes ran pretty much like 25 weeks in a year.
mm.
And so you would get
Well,
the crossover or something.
well, during the first 6 years, it ran for 40 around 44 to 48 weeks of the year. So they had a really like grueling um
Yeah, yeah, really full
schedule.
on.
yeah, really full on, and you could see it did burn the not just William Hartnell, but the entire cast out, just
Mm.
doing it week
And the
on week
crew.
on week. Yeah, and the crew as well. Um, even Patrick Troughton, by his third year, he was getting really like tired of the schedule.
Mm.
Um,
Because it's
doing
quite
it,
demanding. You're in the studio for like 12 to 18 hours a day.
yeah, and doing it pretty much a full year.
Mm.
It aired from like September, October time, right away
Mm.
until like July. Then they had like a
Yeah,
small
yeah,
break. Then they would um, go to the next series. So it was a
yeah.
really long, really long time to be filming this series back then.
It just goes to show how well the actors do with that demanding schedule.
Mm,
You really do see the fact that they are fantastic when
mm,
they're clearly exhausted, you know?
mm, yeah. Um, then you sometimes get like some Doctor like episodes in the 60s. They they
Mm.
they go on their
They
like
needed to
weekly
take breaks.
yeah, their weekly holiday to Barbados or something, or
And
Tenerife or
everyone
whatever.
praises RTD for being the first to do Doctor Light episodes.
Yeah, but well, there was one in like the Time Meddler where Stephen and Vicky hold an entire episode. Um, I think it was episode 2, and you get like the Doctor locked up um in that um in that church.
And you've also got the Celestial Toy Maker as well, when like the
Yeah,
Doctor's absent and just a voice.
yeah, he's just a voice in that. I don't think you see him at all really in that story.
No.
That that's the previous story before the gunfighters. That's where he gets that suite.
Mm. That breaks his tooth. What even happened to that tooth?
Hmm. Did it regenerate,
Well, I'm guessing the physical tooth would have stayed behind, wouldn't it?
or
Because
did
obviously the
the
Doctor's
physical
hand.
hmm, or did the physical tooth regenerate and create a new Doctor?
Or like a meta crisis.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about it and I was like, surely someone like, Van Statten who collected alien artifacts or
Hmm.
units, surely one of them must have taken it, because unless it was literally just that, they chucked the tooth out. But that would be an indestructible tooth because of the regeneration abilities.
Yeah.
I wonder how many lives the tooth had. Do you think a set of 13, or could we see
I
a Doctor Tooth spin-off in the near future?
Doctor Doctor Two spin off. Wow.
It's just
Oh,
it's just a
you could go to RCD for that one, but
well, he's already
Doctor
put in
Tooth.
a tooth plot line, hasn't he? He had that reference to the Master.
Yeah, being a gold tooth.
Yeah. Maybe
Um,
that's the Doctor's tooth. Maybe he's tricking us and
from,
thinking it's the Master. When
oh,
actually,
from the Gunfighters.
uh, I have run out of notes. Have you got
I am gone.
any other sort of thoughts, queries?
I am gone through the rest of my.
Your
Um,
interesting facts?
yeah. Oh, I lost the page. Where did I put it? I'm gonna edit this bit out.
Oh, but I left it in last episode.
Oh, did you?
Do you not listen to these edits? I did
I
the editing
do.
on
I
the last
do.
episode, and I did a fantastic job.
I did listen to the edit. It's it was a great edit, to be honest. Um. Oh, do you know
Oh,
the guy who played Charlie the bartender?
David Graham, yes.
Yeah,
Parker.
David Graham. He was also a Dalek voice during the 1960s.
Yes, he appeared in a couple of Dalek stories as the Dalek.
Yep. And you know, uh, the actor who played Doc Holliday. I
Well, I don't know him personally, but I know who you mean.
yeah. Um, his son
Mm.
wrote the Doctor Who movie from 1996.
Oh, oh, okay. Because
And uh,
I've seen. Sorry.
and um, as a kid, he um, visited the Gunfighters set when he
Mm.
was on the when his father was working on the series.
Yeah. So there's a Doctor Who documentary. It's an unofficial documentary about the writer of the '96 movie and him basically rekindling his appreciation of the show because for quite a long time and still to this day his writing ability, like his written script, has been condemned for being very anti Doctor Who.
Mm.
And so he did I think it was called Doctor Who Am I.
Yeah, he did. I haven't seen the documentary. Have you seen the documentary? Is it any good?
I have seen the clip when he's talking about his father in the show,
Mm.
and there's another clip of him talking about conferences and how he never wanted to go because he didn't want to be harassed by fans who hated the TV movie. But I did see a review, and it just felt like he was sort of trying to pat himself on the back for trying. So I haven't expressed an interest because he's not really regarded in the annals of Doctor Who history as someone who really made a positive impact on the show.
Yeah, he's no Robert Holmes, let's say.
One like exactly like the Titans of Doctor Who, he is not among them. If there was like an Olympic god style pantheon, he definitely wouldn't be on that pantheon.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I did know that interesting fact. And that is a very interesting fact because it seems like, obviously we had the writer of An Unearthly Child, his son inherited the estate and,
Mm.
all that controversy. And then obviously the writer of the TV movie also had familiar ties with the show. So it's almost like Doctor Who has always been this very familiar institution, but it's only been
Mhm.
recognized as such from 2013 onwards, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Is there any other things? I'm just gonna have a quick look, see if I
Well,
covered everything.
I have to say that despite the fact that it's not regarded as one of Doctor Who's best episodes, the fans don't rate it very highly in, the best episode
Mm,
polls. I don't think it should be entirely forgotten. There's a reason why Doctor Who started out as a semi-educational show, and the pure historicals are one of the reasons why people did like the show to begin with, because you even though obviously it's scripted and it's fictional, you still got to go to those places. You got to go to Rome. You got to go and see the Aztecs and the Wild West and all these interesting historical places. And yeah, Doctor Who doesn't really do pure historicals anymore. It has to just be a historical, but something aliens going on, or the Doctor causes this event to happen, and that's why it like joy to the world. The conclusion being that the North Star, or the
mm,
whatever star, turns out to be something that the Doctor had a help in
mm,
making, for better or worse. I don't. I personally think, and this is a question I want to open up to everyone. Do you think they should bring back pure historicals, or do you think they should bring back just more historical episodes? We need to see more glimpses of the past and stuff like
mm.
that.
Yeah, I think Doctor Who are lacking in the historical episodes.
Mm.
Chibnall tried to bring it back in his run, and he did actually some good episodes in historical.
I didn't I didn't mind the Demons of the Punjab. That one was good.
Yeah, and I did like the Witchfinders as well.
I haven't I'll be completely honest, I cannot remember that episode.
With Alan Cumming as James the First.
I yeah. I recognize that, but I genuinely can't remember anything apart from his appearance. It for some reason it's blanked. It's blanked out my mind.
Yeah, most of the Jodie Whittaker era is pretty much blanked out of my mind, and I don't
And
remember
yeah,
much of it.
sorry.
Sorry.
What I was gonna say is, and yeah, obvious. This is slight tangent. I've just finished watching her new Netflix show, Toxic Town,
Mm,
and believe you me, the stark difference between her role as the Doctor and her role in this miniseries. She's a fantastic actress, and I will not accept people saying that she cannot act because she can. She is very, very good. It's just you can really tell that when she's not being when she hasn't got that pressure of the show, she does phenomenal work as an actress.
mm,
And it really annoys me because I literally just finished watching that mini series like yesterday because we were recording a different podcast today, and just astonishing. So obviously I know we're a Doctor Who podcast, but I would highly recommend you watch Toxic Town starring Jodie Whittaker, um because you will definitely see a massive difference in acting.
yeah.
And actually, there's a
Uh,
couple of costumes that would actually be perfect for her Doctor.
mhm. um,
Sorry, I just wanted to end on that.
I've seen her act in like Broadchurch and that. But yeah, she's a great actress. I don't know how
And
we.
she is phenomenal in Broadchurch, but it's just Doctor Who was just not the right role, just not the right project for her.
Mm, I I totally agree. To be honest.
Mm.
Um,
But sorry about that tangent. I just wanted to make that clear to everyone.
yeah. Oh, I was just looking up where the gunfighters actually was placed in the first Doctor rankings in DWM, and it was ranked number 21
So not
out
too
of
bad.
29.
Not too bad, but it could have been worse.
Yeah,
It's what we called Meglos. It was a mid episode.
but in in the 1998 poll they took, it was ranked 29th.
Oh, so it's actually gone up in, well, I guess because of the
Yeah,
missing episodes that have returned.
it was existing in 1998, so the whole
No, I meant like
story.
it's probably moved up the ranking because of
Yeah,
the episodes that have come back since.
yeah. Mm.
Because let's be honest,
Uh,
Galaxy 4 is not going to be in the top 10.
well, that's fourth from bottom. That's actually
Yeah.
slipped down since 1998.
Wow.
Um, yeah, in 2009 it was 26 out of 29.
Mm.
In 2014 it was 24th out of 29. So
So it's always been regarded as quite a mid episode, really.
yeah, it's not
But I
quite
enjoyed it.
mid. It's kind of in the lower tier, but I enjoy it for what it is. Really, it's not the best. It's not the greatest. It's not like Dalek Invasion of Earth for the Time Meddler, but I enjoy
Mm.
it.
I think for me, I see it as a nice palate cleanser.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
it's that nice little breather that you can kind of if you've had a bit too much hard sci-fi, or if you've if you need something to just sort of cleanse the palate, then Gunfighters is quite a inoffensive watch, really.
yeah, yeah, definitely is.
What would you rank it
Um,
in the episodes that we've done so far?
right, I'll go robots.
So that's your first. That's number one
Yeah,
for you.
that's number one. Then I'll go. I'm trying to think what we've done so far.
War
Um,
Games,
War Games,
Megloth,
Megloss.
that Jodie episode that we don't mention.
Oh, that's going at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That will always be at the bottom.
I'll put it between the War Games and Megloss.
So you'd say third?
Maybe four.
You'd rewatch Megloss over Gunfighters.
No, no, actually. No, I watched the Gunfighters over Megloss, actually. Yeah, third.
I will
Yeah,
agree with that. Our sort of top two are slightly different. I put War Games above Robot.
over Robot.
Only because I like Robot. Don't get me wrong. I actually last week did I put Robot first? Don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, I think I would rate War Games slightly higher because I just like the stakes in that one.
Mm.
It's
I'll have
quite
to start. I'll have to start writing them down.
we need to keep a scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm gonna create one. I'm gonna go back and watch the previous endings of each episode. Though we didn't keep one for the first two episodes, did we?
Well, I've got a sports board, you know, like football sports board,
Yeah.
football leaderboards. I've got a template of that somewhere. So if you want, we could use that.
Well, either the Daleks is getting relegated to Division 666.
That's with the that's with the pub, the five-a-side teams, the unofficial. They're nowhere near the leagues, in the little leagues area. But yeah.
Right. Any last thoughts on anything we've covered this episode?
I have to say, I really like Hartnell as the Doctor.
Yeah, I really like Hartnell as the Doctor. He's fantastic.
And I think I don't understand why he's never more highly regarded, or in like fan polls, why he's never at least in the top 5.
Mm.
Because even if he's not even in the top 3, he should be in the top 5 at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Um.
But that's just my opinion.
He's definitely in my top 5. He is. Um. Well, we'll do a ranking one day. Maybe.
What have we got coming up next episode, Sam?
Well, the next episode isn't really one episode. It is a series of episodes.
What could it be? What could it be?
Join us for our 20th anniversary episode of Series 1 of New Who.
Woo! I genuinely can't wait. It's going to be fun to binge a series of Doctor Who in a week, especially a series that I really love.
Yeah,
you know,
I'll have to watch like 2 or 3 a night or something.
Do we have any special announcements for this episode? Because I know that we may have had a possible guest joining us.
Yeah, a possible guest, but she hasn't confirmed yet. I'm still waiting for that confirmation. So
we won't say anything.
See.
We won't promise anything, but we may have a guest on.
Yes.
Which I'm excited about.
So we'll have a look at that. We will have a look at that. We'll keep you informed
subscribe.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
We'll keep you informed on that anyway.
Definitely. And you can stay informed by following us on social media, by subscribing to our channel, and all that jazz.
We're on Instagram. We're on Threads now. I set up a Threads account.
Yes.
NAWP 6389. That's our Instagram and our Threads account. And we're also on Blue Sky, but just look up Sam Morrell, Not Another Who podcast, and I should
or
come up
Keziah Hyde
somewhere.
Media.
Yep. We're everywhere. We're on Facebook. Just look up.
We're in the walls.
Not Another Who podcast. Yeah. We're on pretty much every platform. Just look us up.
We're hiding in your letterbox.
Are we? Or are we?
on every corner of every street in every town.
Or how are we hiding in a burping bin?
No, that was Hartnell. Oh no, that was the Dalek, not a bin. I was
No,
referencing the Space Museum when I foolishly you were referencing Series 1 and we didn't match up with that.
no, no,
Thank you
not at
for
all.
joining us.
Goodbye. See you next week.